Welcome to the exciting next chapter in the Shark Attack universe, Power Rangers Shark Attack in Space. In this intergalactic sequel, the year is 2035, Earth's tides are shifting, and the moon may no longer be a silent partner.
Tidebreaker launch, they own the skies. Spaceborne heroes rise. Shark Attack. In sky. Joe. Shark Attack. In skies.
The Rangers have survived their first battle, but the tides of fate are far from calm. The Tidebreaker lies damaged on the icy moon Trident, wedged into a shallow ravine of glacial rock and dust. Inside, power flickers, panels spark, and atmosphere controls hum under strain. Dr. Alvin Jackson inspects the engine core, his face focused behind reflective diagnostics. Main stabilizers are intact, he mutters to himself. Just needs field sealant and a reactor boost. Will be mobile in a few days. Nearby, Chief Joe Romano leans against a structural beam, arms crossed. We're lucky it wasn't worse, but with the crystal active out there, a few days might be too long. Jackson nods. Then we'll need to use that time wisely. In a quiet corridor, Dex Hunter sits alone, staring out a cracked observation panel at the swirling sky of Neptune far above. This mission wasn't what he expected. Back home, Dex was always the bold one, the first into the riptide, the one who didn't think twice when someone needed saving. But out here, the tides are different. He clenches his fist, his mind echoing with uncertainty. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Behind him, footsteps approach. Joe, you remind me of someone, the chief says quietly. Young, fast, too stubborn to follow orders, but smart enough to figure things out before it's too late. Dex doesn't turn around. You talking about you? No, Joe gives a small smile. I'm talking about Alvin. Dex looks back, surprised. You two go way back? Joe nods slowly. 30 years. We came up together in the original Deep Current project, built the early tech that led to Tidal. I ran the ops. Alvin, he was the mind behind the grid analysis. We didn't always agree, but when things went bad, he was the one who kept his head. Dex listens. Quiet now. And you? He asks. Joe's smile fades. I kept people alive. Elsewhere, Mira and Kalen run diagnostics near the armory chamber. Mira senses Dex's distance. He's not just pushing us away, she says. He's pushing himself. Kalen doesn't look up. He's recalibrating, in his own way. In orbit, far from Trident, aboard the ancient Skull Galleon, Captain Mutiny surveys his map table, covered in starlit projections and tidal coordinates. A swabby limps in, soaked in dust and glitching from a recent warp. We found the breach, Captain. The crystal's energy echoed beyond the moon and cracked into the netherworld. Mutiny straightens. The netherworld? You mean the Sanzu? The swabby nods. It's receded, but your chosen creature remained. Mutiny's voice grows wistful. The Sanzu River, a pirate's dream. Waters that flow between the dead and forgotten. I always said I'd ride it one day. He slams a fist on the table. And the old octopus survived it? The swabby confirms. Octaroo. We found him near the last vein of Sanzu mist, waiting. Swabbies are there awaiting your command to bring him back. Mutiny grins. Inside the Tidebreaker's comms and intelligence chamber, Joe Romano leans over the flickering readout of a low-orbit sensor scan. The Skull Galleon drifts in still frame, rusted sails flapping in the void, hull etched with centuries of scorch marks. The ship doesn't match any known registry. Joe frowns. What are you? He taps a command on the console. Computer. Run visual match on unknown vessel. Pirate class, non-terrestrial. Cross-check with long-range anomaly archives. A few moments pass. Then, results populate the screen in crimson. Match found. Designation, Skull Galleon. Affiliation, Captain Mutiny. Pirate sovereign of the Lost Galaxy. Status, presumed destroyed. Historical context, engaged in combat with Queen Trakina. No confirmed remains. No confirmed victory. Joe leans back slowly, reading the words again. Mutiny. He types another search manually. The files are old, corrupted, some stamped with SPD clearance from decades prior. Video footage appears, grainy, tinted and static. A towering figure commands a throne carved from asteroid bone. His voice rasps through the speaker. You don't rule the stars by owning them. You rule them by raiding every world the light forgets. Joe narrows his eyes. That's not just a pirate. That's a war criminal. He brings up recovered battle records from the Lost Galaxy conflict. Among them, a name, Trakina. Joe mutters, reading aloud, Trakina, insectoid empress. Looks like she's responsible for what was thought to be the destruction of Mutiny. He leans forward again, but there were no remains, no confirmation. He glances up at the drifting skull galleon. And now you're here. Joe straightens, activates his secure channel to Alvin. Jackson, you'll want to hear this. I just dug up our ghost's name. A pause. It's Captain Mutiny, Lost Galaxy class, thought to be taken out by Trakina herself. Alvin's voice comes through low, serious. That's not a ghost. That's a warlord returning and seeking revenge. After making their discover, Alvin heads over to the Tidebreaker's armory, summoning the Rangers to join him. He stands before a sealed weapons vault. The metal retracts, revealing 3 glowing weapons suspended in containment rings. These are your personal combat extensions, he says, powered by your orb bites, tuned to your energy signatures. He turns to Mira first. The Star Piercer bow, constellation guided, designed for high-precision long-range support. To Kalen, the Graviaxe, twin-forged blades with gravitational focus channels, meant for control and close combat suppression. And finally to Dex, the Nova Saber, lightweight, heat-reactive, channels supernova bursts with every strike. Dex approaches slowly, eyeing the weapon. I've never used a blade before. Alvin looks him in the eye. Then it'll teach you to lead. Dex grips the saber, and it glows in his hand. Back aboard the Skull Galleon, Captain Mutiny places the Morphon crystal shard into a spinning forge powered by cosmic tides. With a snarl, he raises a clawed hand toward the swirling mass of stardust and gravitational debris. Time to stir up a little mischief. The shard glows brightly, dust hardens, plasma twists. A massive figure begins to form, glowing, jagged, pulsing with momentum, born from comets, bred to distract. I name you, Comeaton. The hulking creature roars, a meteor-headed, comet-tailed beast of kinetic fury. Mutiny grins. Now go, raise some noise, give my crew the cover they need. Below deck, the Swabbies prepare a warp capsule. One nods. This should keep those new Rangers busy while Octaroo is brought to me. Back on Trident, the Tidebreaker's alert sirens blare. Incoming object, Mira calls. Not natural, not orbital. A searing light crashes into the icy surface beyond the crater ridge. Comeaton lands with a deafening shockwave. The Rangers dash to the upper deck. Kalen scans. Spaceborne, magnetized core. It's alive and powered by the same frequency as the shard. Dex steps forward, orb bite locked into his Nova Saber. Then we test these in the real world. Let's put our cosmomorphers to work. Ride the Riftstorm. Energy surges around them. Their suits ignite. Helmets lock. In seconds, the Space Shark Rangers descend from the ship in full formation. Comeaton roars and barrels forward, leaving a crater with each charge. Mira moves first, her Star Piercer bow locking into a constellation pattern. Targeting upper shoulder joint now! She releases a starlight arrow. It sparks against Comeaton's armor, forcing him to stagger. Blake leaps next, his Graviaxe spinning midair before slamming down, unleashing a pressure wave that flattens terrain. Gravity spike, holding him still. Dex charges, sword blazing red. Time to see what this saber can do. He slashes downward. The blade erupts with Nova energy, sending Comeaton flying into a cliffside. But Comeaton isn't finished. It growls and begins to glow, pulsing with comet flare. Kalen narrows his eyes. That's a kinetic overload. He's going to detonate. Alvin's voice breaks through the comms. Use your orb bite synergy. Combine your attacks, now. The Rangers fall into line. Dex channels his saber into a fiery arc. Mira summons a constellation array of light. Kalen launches a gravity wave to pin the creature in place. Their attacks converge. Riftstorm strike. Comeaton explodes into a brilliant starlight burst, harmless dust raining down across Trident. The Rangers regroup, panting but alive. Dex lowers his saber. That felt right, Kalen nods. Orb bite synchronization complete. Mira smiles. We're finally working as one. Back in deep space, the warp capsule hums. The Swabbies emerge, back from nether-drenched remains of the Sanzu River, now a dry, blackened valley haunted by whispers. Following them was the squid-like sorcerer of the Sanzu, Octaroo. His voice crackled. "Ah, my old friend Mutiny, you are ever so good to see.